We are nearly there, Celts, 1 week through the international break, but now out the other side we start to gear up for our returning. The Hoops host Dundee at Paradise on Saturday in a game that is nice to ease back into domestic football. However, ahead of our return we have been handed a giant blow. In today's video, of course, we will go through this, whilst also going over all the latest Celtic news in the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. It may have been Scott McTominay and John McGinn who stole the headlines in Scotland's midfield on Friday night, but Celtic captain Callum McGregor was a crucial part of the national team machine in the win over Cyprus. The incredible Euro qualifying run from Steve Clarke's side continued with a 3-0 win away from home. McTominay, McGinn and Ryan Porteous were all on the score sheet, leaving Scotland on the brink of an automatic qualification for next summer's tournament. McGregor was a linchpin in the middle of the park. Although he did not provide much of an attacking threat, he provided the platform that allowed others such as McGinn to push forward and impact the game in the final third. The Celtic captain was efficient with his distribution, completing 59 of his 65 attempted passes, a rate of 91%. He was instrumental in the midfield area, linking play from the defence into the opposition half, with 11 of his passes penetrating into the final third. Defensively he was crucial too, making 3 interceptions and 5 recoveries as well as a clearance. He won half of his duels in the air and on the ground, also drawing 1 foul. Across 79 touches he also had a shot on target and successfully completed a dribble, showing that he could get himself forward from time to time. McGregor is a man more than happy to run the show for the club and country while others get the goals and assists. His performance in Cyprus is another sign he is turning around some below par early season form to get back to his best. The boys' captain was excellent in last week's derby against Rangers, and we can have some confidence he'll be carrying his momentum into the Champions League group stage. The upcoming friendly against England will be a brilliant test for him against some elite players, and Celtic fans will be keenly watching to see how he fares. Chris Sutton has been running the rule over Brendan Rodgers' midfield options at Celtic during the international break, as the boys prepare for a very important stage of the season. Celtic return at home to Dundee next weekend before launching into the UEFA Champions League group stage, which will be juggled with week-to-week Scottish Premiership action. The recent Derby victory was undoubtedly a boost to the confidence of players, staff and supporters, but bigger challenges are now ahead. In a column focused on his desire to sign Hatate up to a new contract, Sutton also reviewed Celtic's other options beyond Callum McGregor. The pundit stated, "I have to give special mention to Matt O'Reilly for his performances in the opening month of the season. He has got everything in fact, he can score goals, he can make goals and he can also shift defensively to help the side." Although he did a shift for the team, David Turnbull's inability to really deliver in a big game still concerns me and was again evident at Ibrox, but Odin Thiago Holmes stepped in and impressed. He may not be ready to be a fully fledged regular at this stage of his development, but against Rangers he looked comfortable, just as he did when he came off the bench at Pittodrie. The Norwegian is tidy on the ball, got forward to have a shot at Jack Butland within seconds of arriving into the fray, and finished up with a crunching block on Todd Campbell seconds before the final whistle was sounded. The next couple of months will be defining for the direction of Brendan Rodgers' midfield. McGregor is a lock-in to start consistently, but there could be a fair amount of rotation between the other options. Hatate, O'Reilly, Home, Bernardo and Turnbull are all likely to get opportunities. Whoever takes them then will get a priority after the winter break when the schedule starts to calm down a little. The depth is pretty strong. It is now about the players showing they are worthy of becoming the main man at Celtic Park in support of the captain. In what can only be described as a blow to Celtic's short-term ambitions, reports claim that Hoops winger Abada will be sidelined for approximately a month due to his recent sustained injury. Abada has been sent back to Scotland from the Israeli national team camp for medical evaluation, and it appears that prognosis isn't favourable. The extended absence couldn't become a worse time for Brendan Rodgers and his Celtic squad. The Hoops face a daunting schedule ahead, including a critical Champions League fixture against Feyenoord on September the 19th, and various domestic league matches. Abada's presence on the field will be sorely missed. The Israeli international had been filling the void left by Jota in a commendable fashion, proving himself to be a key asset in Celtic's attacking plans. His month-long hiatus will now force Rodgers to rethink his strategies and potentially rely more heavily on new signings. Whilst this news is undoubtedly disheartening, it also serves as a call to action for the rest of the team. Other players will have to step up and fill the void left by Abada's absence, making sure the team doesn't lose its momentum in both domestic and European competitions. Haksabanovic had finally secured his deadline day move to Stoke City on a season-long loan, but not without leaving a trail of controversy in his wake. The midfielder's recent comments painting his time at Celtic as a resounding success are disingenuous at best. Haksabanovic stated, "I came from a club with one of the biggest fan bases in the world. If you can do it there, you can do it here as well," he's told Stoke's YouTube channel. "We understand that the player needs to put himself over with his loan club. However, Haksabanovic showed flashes of promise at Celtic, but never enough to warrant a consistent run in the team. His technical skills and flair were evident, but they were sporadic moments rather than sustained brilliance. At a club like Celtic, where the standards are sky high and the competition for places is fierce, that simply isn't good enough." His move to Stoke was expedited after he decided to air his grievances on Twitter, just days after Celtic's disappointing home draw against St Johnstone. Coming on as a second-half substitute, Haksabanovic failed to turn the tide in a match that should have been a routine win for the Hoops. It's one thing to be frustrated with a lack of playing time, but it's another to publicly undermine the team's efforts. It's no surprise that the club was keen to offload him, and Stoke City's loan offer provided the perfect exit strategy. As Haksabanovic embarks on his new journey, one can only hope he takes some lessons from his time at Celtic. Talent alone isn't enough, it's the willingness to put the team first that truly makes a player great. And while he may believe that if he can do it at Celtic, he can do it at Stoke, the reality is that he never quite did it at Celtic in the first place. Nearly a week after his departure from Fleetwood Town, Celtic legend Scott Brown has broken his silence with a heartfelt farewell message to the club and its supporters. The message comes after a challenging start to the season that saw Fleetwood garner just 1 point from their first 6 games and exit the EFL Cup in the first round. In his Instagram message, Brown expresses gratitude for the opportunity to serve as Fleetwood's head coach and thanked the board, staff and players for their support. He wrote, "I am sad to leave Fleetwood Town Football Club after only 15 months as head coach, but I would like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to join the club last May. We worked hard throughout our time at the club. After a challenging start, to continue the club's excellent record in League One, I was fully committed to the club and was excited to sign a new contract in the summer, with ambitions to build on our 13th place finish last season and record-breaking FA Cup run. However, the disappointing start to the season has resulted in a situation in which Stephen Whittaker, Barry Nicholson and I have left the club. I would like to thank Stephen, Barry and Owain Vaughan Williams for their support and hard work on and off the pitch. I would also like to thank the wider staff team at the club, who showed up every day to make sure the team can perform to the highest possible level. The group as a whole have taken responsibility for the performances and poor results in the past month, but I am proud of the success we shared as a team last season, and I expect the team to pull together and climb the table soon. I'd like to thank each of the players for their efforts during my time at the club. Thank you to the fans who welcomed me to their club and got behind me last season. I wish the club the very best for the future, and I look forward to watching the players and the team's progress in the years to come. I've really enjoyed my first experience as a manager, and I look forward to taking what I have learned at Fleetwood into my next role in football." From a Celtic standpoint, it's always tough to see one of our own face setbacks. Scott Brown's managerial journey may have hit a bump in the road, but his resilience and leadership qualities, which made him a legend at Celtic Park, are sure to see him through this challenging period. Celtic fans, what do you make of Abada getting injured? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new t-shirts with our Brendan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.